Hello everyone and welcome to the vlog. As you may know, this is my kind of weather and my kind of Saturday, so it's going to be a great weekend. There are 30 more days till Christmas. It's late November. The leaves are all down. There are a few leaves on the trees, but 90% of the leaves are down on the ground, so the branches of the trees are empty, and this forces me to think of different ways of approaching the scene. Even though it's foggy, even though it's the same forest that I'm revisiting and revisiting again, the lack of leaves makes me think of different ways of finding compositions and different ways of choosing subjects. But this is what makes it fun. I mean, if every time would be the same, you would do the same shots, the same photos, the same compositions, you would choose the same subjects, and nothing would be different, nothing would look different. So I want to photograph the place, even though I'm revisiting for maybe 100 times. I want to photograph it a little bit differently. It's a little bit difficult to do that after a number of times, but you get the idea, right? Now let me get my tripods and we will go. I have to as you can see, I have two tripods. One for the camera I'm photographing with, and the other for this camera that I'm using to film this. Let's go into the woods and see what we can find. Right now I'm concentrating more on tree shapes and the path, the trail that goes through these trees. But also I'm looking at the leaves, because this dark brown reddish color can look pretty interesting. I really like this almost rug of leaves. I mean, the leaves are everywhere, and as you can see all around me, it's this dark brown color, and you can use that as a composition element. So you need always constantly be watching for what you can use in your photos, because many times the location can look very changed or very differently from what you know or from what you expect, especially if you visited in different seasons. For this vlog I went deeper into the forest, and after a certain distance I started to record, and this is also part of this thing that even though you are revisiting the same place over and over again, you should go and try and explore and find different areas of the location, and this will help you immensely in getting different shots. Also, photographing on this really thick fog presents true problems, and it's pretty difficult. Many people have problems with focusing, but as a short tip, if you are focusing on the edge of the trees, you should be fine. But this doesn't remove the problem that you have such a thick fog and so few details to see, and you need to be extra careful in choosing your subjects and compositions and the place from where you are shooting those compositions. It's extremely important how you do it, what settings are you using, and all the stuff like that. There is no recipe, and let me tell you that again, there is no recipe for settings. People always ask me to give the settings for a certain photo. It's useless. You don't need the settings for that photo. I mean, when you will encounter the same situation Every situation requires different kind of settings, different approach, a different position, and a different way of thinking about the composition. I said it before that fog helps you get rid of the clutter and isolate things and make things simple. But sometimes this can present a problem because we as humans are used to seeing the clutter and all those things, and are also used to isolating from that clutter. So if nature does that for us, sometimes people may have problems in finding simple compositions in the fog, and you can see this in many foggy photos around the net, around the web, and even just because people see fog, they are photographing every subject, no matter how less important, less interesting, less, I don't know, and they photograph any subject without thinking about it too much. The reason for which these photos are boring is because people are seeing interesting things everywhere when there is fog. They think that everything is interesting, and it's not. And that is why many of foggy photos look dull, uninteresting. That is why pay really close attention to the subjects you are choosing and the way you are framing it. I had a pretty tough situation 5 or 6 minutes ago. In this forest, there is a pack of dogs. I saw it from the car different times, but whenever I walked, I never met them. Until 5 minutes ago when they were, I don't know how many there were. I only saw 4 or 5, but it may be more of those dogs. So they were pretty violent, and I didn't film it because I was busy getting rid of them. I have to admit, I was at some point I was pretty scared, especially when they first especially when they made their first attack and they were barking and coming, running, and something like that. My luck was that I'm used to these kind of situations, but I have to admit that seeing 4 or 5 dogs running towards you, it's not something pretty, and this is one of the dangers of walking alone. Now, this kind of thing never happened to me when I'm in forests, when I'm hiking in more isolated places. This forest is near the town, and I'm thinking because of that, those dogs are here in the forest. But it was a pretty hard situation, and now let me take the camera for 1 second. Now the good thing of all this is that I managed to chase them away. I managed to dominate them, and this is the tip that I can give to you. If you encounter a situation like this, you have to be much stronger than the animal in front of you. Not always pays off, but you have no other chance. So next time this pack of dogs will see me in the forest or meet with me in the forest, I will know that I can dominate them. Unless more dogs join the pack, and then it's going to be much more difficult. But the 2 tripods helped a lot. Helped me a lot. I will take 5 or 10 minutes to calm myself down and then continue. Because the adrenaline rush, it wasn't pretty at all. Sometimes the most interesting compositions are not in front of you or at your back, but up. I think that as a landscape photographer you should be 360 degrees aware, and this doesn't mean only like this, but you have to be sphere alerted, sphere aware. You have to know everything that is going on around you if you don't want to miss something. Whoops. It's the end of the trail. I'll have a 5-minute break and do a short recap, and then I'll head back to the car. At the end of the day, what's important, I think, is to come back safe. No photo is worth getting yourself in a dangerous position. In what relates this small encounter with these dogs, I don't see this as a danger. I was aware of this pack wandering the forest. I knew that at some point I'm going to meet them, so it was just a matter of time. I don't advise you to go alone into nature, into the woods, on mountain trails. It can be pretty dangerous, but this is my way. This is my way of doing things right now, because in time I know for sure this will change. My daughter Maria, she will grow up, she will start walking, and then I will hike the trails again with my wife and our little Maria with us. So things will change in time, but for now it is what it is. And what the forest has to offer in this kind of conditions, I think that you should always explore. You should always be open and prepare. Have your gear prepared, have your batteries charged, your equipment ready to go. Otherwise you will miss it. So I hope you like the photos from this photo shoot, and if you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, you will consider to do so, like my videos or share it with your friends. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep on photographing. It's the only way you can get better. Bye bye.